This is what our clearing speed looks like in a T17 map. We simply click one button to explode the entire screen, which feels really satisfied. We move from packs to packs really fast, and some pack of mobs even die when they are outside of the screen. Come to the single target damage. This is the boss in the same T17 map, with 4 boss difficulty points allocated in our Atlas tree. We did close to 5 million damage in a few seconds. It is a surprise to me that at the end of the fight, our elemental invocation is ready again with Tempest Bell ready, of course. This means that we can do the same burst of damage again if the boss would be alive. This is a build that I have experimenting a lot towards endgame mapping with the help from our Discord. Thanks folks again. If you are looking for information about how to level and progress on the gear, or to do magic funding on the Cold Monk character, our channel has videos covering that as well. On the skill side, Ice Strike, we're at close to 120k when we're sitting in town. We have 52% critical hit chance, a little bit over 600 critical hit damage, and we also have 117% rarity on the drop. This is supported by Martial Temple, Primal Armament, Concentrated Effect, and inspiration. It's really because I'm using Ice Bite instead of Cold Infusion. Cold Infusion gives us 20% damage as actual cold damage. If we put Cold Infusion back on, it gives us 150k almost. However, if you look at the Ice Bite, which says we get 35% damage as cold damage, which is much greater than the 25% given by Cold Infusion. However, we have to freeze an enemy to be able to get this bonus. As we're doing a lot of the cold damage, we have a lot of freeze buildup. We're actually freezing enemies, including the bosses, all the time. So we actually will have this on all the time. In my test, even though the tooltip has less damage, but when we're actually doing the mapping or killing the boss, this feels much stronger and faster. Don't worry about the details, I will put all of them in the planner link in the description. Tempest Bell, I'm using Overabundance. This is really not to give us 2 bells at the same time, it's really to give us 1 bell, and then right after the first bell disappear, we have our second bell available. This is really great for continuous fighting the bosses. And then using Front of Reach, Heft, and also Heavy Swing. For the Wind Dancer, I'm still using Blind, but I put Energy Barrier and Unbreakable. This is really to deal with stun. I think we don't really have a lot of stun threshold. When we get a stun, for example, some guy are throwing the axe or rocks on top of our head. When they hit us, we'll get stunned. If they're throwing, we will be continuous stunned there, which is very, very dangerous. So I use this tool to mitigate the stun situation. For Charge the Staff, I added Calling Strike here. After we add that in our Shockwave, we will have hits that have Calling Strike against the rare and unique enemies. So this is really working. And by using Charge the Staff, it will give us much better range. For example, this range is 5 meters. Instead of just hitting very closely with our enemy, this can hit from really far, even like behind the door, which gives us a lot of clearing speed. Compact Frenzy, no change here, supported by Profusion. And on the Herald of Ice, supported by Cold Penetration, Magnified Effects, Ambush, to do 100% critical hits against the enemies who are full life. This helps a lot on the clearing. I also added another one called the Long Shot. If I read this correctly, above 7 meters, we get 35. From 7 meters to 0, we basically go from 35% to 0. That is pure damage gain we're getting. There's no downside, so why not using that? And Elemental Invocation is new, supported by Eye of Winter. I think this any projectile spells can help here. We can also use Ball Lightning, but I haven't done a lot of the tests yet. I've been messing around with Eye of Winter, and we use Deceleration to slow down the projectile to engage with the ball more, and then Scatter Shot to have 2 additional projectiles. And I'm putting Impetus here to gain more energy. If I have another link here, I wanted to put Energy Retention here as well. For Herald of Thunder, supported by Man, Lightning Mastery, and Cannibalism. Just to mention that If we put any spirit reservation here in our Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder, because we have the reservation of Herald of Skill, these gems that we put in will also benefit from reduction of spirit reservation, which is pretty nice. Beyond that, we are using Green Fist and also Ghost Dance, supported by Fast Forward. I don't think I have made any change on the passive tree. Again, this will be available in the link of the planner in the description. The only one thing I think I did change is our ascendancy. I'm dropping this node, protect me from harm. So this will reduce our evasion rating but add the evasion rating to the armor. However, I didn't find the armor very useful. Maybe this is true or not, I'm not very sure. But for now, based on the chat in our Discord, this works pretty good for me, at least for now. With the 2 additional points, I go for more critical hit chance, and also critical hits ignore enemy elemental resistances. I think we also have option to go here to get 10% damage. This is a 10% multiplier, and also some more chance to shock enemies and also create shock ground. This might be a good option as well. If we want to go for defensive, we can go for meditate as we covered in the previous videos. However, because we are clearing really fast and killing boss very fast, when we have 4 difficulty points allocated on the Atlas tree, I personally will not use this one. And other things are for the jewels. We have one here for critical hit chance, critical damage, and mental damage. And one here for critical hit chance, critical damage. And I think one here, some maximum energy shield, critical hit chance, and damage. As you can see, the roll are not perfect. I have a lot to work on. Some attack speed, critical hit damage, and attack damage. I believe there's another one somewhere in the middle. A little bit more maximum energy shield, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage. On the gear side, this is the weapon that I have for now. It has over 700 physical DPS. This is the most important stat that we're looking for. Other stats, I would go for critical damage bonus, which is really great. Other than that, we can look for increased attack speed. If we can really afford it, we can add percentage of elemental damage with attacks. So that's gonna be really OP for this build. However, if we're really on budget, just look for the highest physical DPS that we can find. For the helmet, I go for energy shield because we're basically using this node to have more evasion based on the energy shield that we have on our helmet. On the amulet, I enchanted this with a vulgar method, which will give us some strength and also certify increase the critical hit chance with some reduced maximum mana, which should be fine. And we're looking for percentage increase of maximum energy shield. And I put some rarity here. This is optional. And other than that, we can put life resistances that we need. If we can really find some good ones, we can go for critical hit chance or critical hit damage as well. On the rings, basically look for some cold damage to attack or physical damage to attack. And I put rarity here. Again, this is optional. And fill in the missing resistances. You can add life here as well. I'm still keeping this unique ring. Using this ring, we can shatter the enemy when they are chilled before they get frozen. This helps us with clearing and all the explosions that we're seeing in the previous footage. On the glove, look for life resistances, increased attack speed, and also a little bit of physical damage here. So these are basically nice to have, just filling the missing resistances. On the belt, I have nothing special but life and resistances. On the boots, I want to go for movement speed. That's always something I maximize for. I get some rarity, that's optional, but look for life resistances if you can find. Other than that, I'm using this charm to prevent to be frozen. If you want more rarity, you can put a golden charm on and others for whatever situation you want to protect for. For the stats, we have 1.6k life, almost 4k energy shield. When this is overflowed, we have 8k energy shield plus 1.6k, so 9.6 total effective HP. I believe that's what it's called. It's pretty okay. We have 242 spirit. Just one thing to mention, if you are looking for a chest on the trade website, just be careful about the evasion rating and energy shield that you are getting. If you look at the numbers here, 1k evasion, 400 something energy shield, then you can always go to the ascendancy point and check out this node. This tells us how much energy shield on our body armor will be translated to spirits. That's basically 6 energy shield give us 1 spirit, and also 15 evasion rating gives us 1 spirit. Based on that, we should be very careful about how many spirit we're getting from the body chest that we're searching for. I'm getting 242 in total. That basically means the armor chest gives me 142 spirit because of the evasion rating and the energy shield on this. So you really need to plan this, how many spirit you want to run, and then look for the evasion rating and energy shield on the body chest that you can afford. So just want to mention that before you make an expensive purchase. On the armor, because we dropped the protect me from harm ascendance node, it becomes 0. But we will have 79% evasion with the wind dancer activated with 4 stages. This looks pretty decent. We already kept all of our elemental resistances and also cold resistances. We have 242 spirit in total. We're running a lot of spirit reservations. Wind dancer, comeback frenzy, herald of ice, elemental invocation, heart of thunder, green face, and the ghost dance. Because we have so many spirit, I think I'm missing one of the skill slot. That's why I'm getting a unset ring here. Let me use a random map for a demonstration. When we start the map, we don't have any power charge. Let's don't run into a group of mobs and start attacking. We probably will get killed if that's a group of magic monsters or even like a rare monsters. What we do is that we just start very slow. We kill one enemy to get a power charge. You can see we already have 1 power charge there. We normally don't go back. This is just for demonstration. What we do is that after we get 1 power charge, we do charge staff. Now we can do this very much longer range of attacking. This will make our clearing very fast. And then after we get more power charges, we can keep charge our staff. So you can see the charge staff gives us a wave like here in front of us, right? For like 5 meters. If we don't have that, we will only have the close range, like where the white arc looks like. So that's our range. With charge staff, this range is much further. Even before we engage with any of the monsters, we can blow them all up from a little bit remote distance. This will make us very safe. And along the way, once we get power charges, we just recast the charge staff. So you can see, oh, this explosion is really far, right? It's just explode everything, even like outside of the screen. When you start the mapping, don't randomly die. Just pay attention to that. For the boss, normally I would not use Unbound Avatar or Elemental Invocation until the boss. We press Unbound Avatar right before the engage, hit the boss 4 times and drop the bell. Press Elemental Invocation right away and keep hitting. If the boss is not dead yet, drop a bell. If Elemental Invocation is ready again, use it or just keep hitting. The boss will be dead soon. That's all the information I want to share today. Hope you like it and found some useful information from the video. Like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you and see you in the next one.